La emisión está comenzando. Todos los asistentes están en modo de solo escucha.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Alicia, and today we are going to see in our webinar how to do some searches and especially how to manage our searches. Remember that if you have a question at any moment during the webinar, just go ahead and type them in the chat section and I'll try to help to answer them as soon as I see them. So here I'm logged into my account. This is our control panel where we have our main product and all the sub-products that REIFax offers to all our clients, and where I can go and do anything in my account as the billing, the cancel or freeze. I can see my invoices if I want here in account. Here in documents I see all the files I have saved, like reports and everything. I create my tickets. Okay, so in this case, I'm going to go to my search. I can go to search either on this little looking glass or here in the tile for my main product. Remember that the icons on the left side of your screen are places to go, and the icons on the top of the screen are actions to take. So I'm going to go to search. Here I'm in my search panel and I'm going to conduct a search. Remember that the data in REIFax is everything and anything that is in public records in the state of Florida or whichever state you are using. If your account is all counties, whether it's platinum, professional, or dialer, but you have all counties, you will have access not only to all the counties in the state of Florida, that was our main product for all these years, but we have been adding additional states. So if you have access to all counties, you will have access to any new state that we add in our database. For now, if you have all counties and you check here in the drop down for states, you'll see that you have Florida, Maryland, New Jersey, and California. That is, all those states with all the counties included in each one of them. So I'm going to do a little search. I'm going to leave it at Broward. I'm going to select properties for sale. Let's say pre-foreclosed, probate, no. See that when I select anything on the left side of my screen, here in the middle between the variables that I'm selecting and the map appears the variables, the parameters I'm selecting. So here, looking at this, I can see what I have selected and what my search is about. I'm going to select single family. Let's put live state. No. Down here, I can move from tab to tab. Each tab has its own set of parameters depending on what it is about. Here in public records, the first one would be general. That's address, bedrooms, gross area, lot size, sold price, folio number, bathrooms, living area, legal description, real estate agent, yes or no, market value. Let's put here in market value between. Remember the drop downs on each one of these parameters work depending on what type of information that you gather. You would have equal or greater than or less than or equal or less, or between. If you put between, it will open another window, so you can put, let's put 200 and 400. This is market value. And in the other type of parameters, let's say in name, you would have exact, contains, not contains, empty, not empty, multiple contains, and multiple not contains. That is, if I'm going to use if I'm going to use contains or not contains, that is, contains will filter in anything that I put in. For example, if I want properties that are bank owned, or in this case, I'm going to do a search with properties that are not bank owned. I'm going to do a search, and hopefully all the properties in my results will be properties owned by individuals. The owner is a person and not a bank or institution. How do I do that? First of all, I select multiple not contains, because I'm going to type in a set of keywords that I don't want to appear in the name of the owner of the properties I'll get in my search. So I'll select multiple not contains and start typing in those keywords like bank, financial. I'll separate them with a comma with no spaces, trust, corp, uh, the ink. So those are keywords that I don't want to be in the name of the owner. So if I put those keywords, hopefully everything that comes up will be properties that have an individual as an owner. I could also use the state of the owner for filtering out of state owners. I'm going to put multiple not contains again here and type in Florida. So Florida, comma, and SL, just to make sure I filter out everything in Florida. Some, in some cases, you'll have Florida completely spelled out, or you'll only have FL. So that's why I'm including both of the versions. And again, I select multiple not contains, because I'm typing in more than one variable, multi, multiple not contains. This will filter out owners that live in the state of Florida. In this case, I'll get properties with out-of-state owners. The owner does not live in the state of Florida. So let's see what I have. I have Broward, for sale, pre-foreclosed, not in life state, not a probate, state of Florida, single family, market value between 200 and 400, owner's name, not contains, bank, financial, trust, corp, inc. Hopefully that will filter out uh, bank-owned properties. And last of all, I want out-of-state owners. Let's do a search with this. Let's see, we have a question here. I have a question here from Benjamin Bennett. Life state. What does life state mean? Life state is actually any type of the properties undergoing any type of legal procedure that maintains the ownership of the property under one name until the procedure is finished, whether the person dies or gives the ownership and the title of the property to another person. Okay, so let's go to search. Hmm, Actually, it seems it was filtered out a little bit, quite a bit. I only got one. Seems my search was too specific. When you have a search too specific, you put too many things in, you'll see that your results are very, very reduced. In this case, I'm just going to keep take out the market value to see if I want to take out anything. I just click on the X, red X on the next to it, and that will take it off. I'm going to take off the price range and click on search again. Hmm, Well, actually, that wasn't the thing that was reducing my search. So let's work with this. What I wanted to show you is how to do the searches and how to manage your searches. So we're going to do that even if our results are very small. So here I have my results. I have two properties with those parameters. So these are properties that are in pre-foreclosed. If I go to the overview of the property, I'll see that this is a pre-foreclosed property that is active for sale. The owner does not live in the state of Florida. What else? It's a single family. So see what the search parameters were. It's not a probate. It's not a life state. It's a single family. Let's see the name of the owner. Overview. Hmm, Actually, something went wrong there because this is Wells Fargo Bank. That shouldn't have happened. Something didn't work correctly there. Let's see that I select not contains correctly. Hmm, I didn't. That's the problem. I selected multiple contains and I was going to select multiple not contains. That's why. Let's do the search again. Now I have, let's select one and go to the overview. So here I have Ferdinand Geraldine does not live in the state of Florida. This is a pre-foreclosed property that is for sale. So the property fits all the criteria that I put in my search. Let's say this is the type of properties I'm interested in, and this is a search that I want to do regularly. So I want to save these parameters in a search so that I don't have to go and select them each time and type them in and whatever. I want to have it pre-saved so I can look for it and do it, let's say, once a week. Remember, if I go to my results, I have, in this case, I have 10 properties. This is today. Today I have 10 properties with the search. I can export this list to Excel and save that list in my computer. But if I come tomorrow and do the same exact search, I might have the same 10 properties, but most probably I won't. I will have some of these, and some of these will not be here anymore, or I'll have more. Our data is updated every day, especially in the part of active for sale properties. So maybe tomorrow there are two more properties that are active for sale that fit all this criteria, or maybe one of these properties actually was sold and the update and data is updated during the today or tomorrow, and tomorrow this one of these properties will not appear as an active for sale anymore. So I can what I can the way I can save these properties is exporting them the list to Excel. What I can save is the search and do the same search tomorrow or next week and get the properties that fit this criteria at that given moment. How do I save the searches? I'm going to go back to search, and here I have this icon that looks like an open notebook. That's, that's what it looks to me. Manage search. Here in manage search, if I click on it, it will allow me to save the parameters and the search I'm doing right now. That would be doing a new one. All your accounts have pre-saved searches. These all the searches with the RFX prefix are pre-saved searches that all our clients have in their account. If you see the description under them, you can see what it is about. So you can just go ahead and if you're interested in probate, not owner occupied condominiums, you would just select this one and load, and that will give you the parameters for that search. There's around 60 searches with RFX pre-saved in all of your accounts. Those of you that are mentor students from DREA would have pre-saved searches with an MP prefix, that is mentor program, that you use in your classes at DREA with Jim. And now I'm going to create this book. Apart from the ones that are pre-saved in your account that you can use at any moment, and you can actually not change them. They're default searches, so you cannot change them. You can open one, uh, edit, change things on them, and at the moment of finishing, you would have to save it under another name. You would not be able to either delete or edit directly one of these searches because they're the default searches in your account. So I'm going to create the new one I'm just doing. I click on new. First of all, I give a name to this search. Let's say this is single family for sale. And the description, I could put out of state owner, not bank owned. And what else did I put? Let's see if I can take this up now. I can't move it. Out of state owner, not bank owned, active for sale. So this is just about it. So this is single family for sale. I'm just going to put here so I can look it up quickly right now. Webinar and save. Successfully saved. My searches have a filter here so I can actually look for something in particular. Let's say I want to see the single family. I can search for them. That will appear all the ones that have single family in the name. In this case, since I put in webinar, let's look for the one that says webinar. Search. This is the one I just saved. So here's my search. Let's close this. Let's clear this and show you how to retrieve again your search. So let's say tomorrow I come in, I want to do the same search I did yesterday. So I don't select anything. I just come here to my manage search, look for the template I created, select it, and click unload. So see, now I have all my parameters here and I can do my search. And here I have my 10 properties. I can, in my own searches, not the ones that are there in the account by default, I can actually do an override. I can change something. Let's go back to search. I have my search here. This is the one I created, but I want to change something. Let's say I'm going to put in this case, let's go back to the public records tab and put in the market value that I eliminated earlier. Let's put market value between and put the 200 and 400. There. How do I save this new change? I go back to my manage search. I look for the one I want to edit, webinar, select it. I did this change in the search. I have all the other parameters. I added the new one I want to add, and I click and overwrite. Are you sure you want to overwrite this template? Yes. So let's clear this. I don't have anything. Let's go back and look for webinar. Search, select it, load, and I now have my new search with the new parameter I added into my search. Or I can delete, let's say, the owner bank financial. And again, I would do the same thing. Look for the search, click on override, and that will delete that one. So any day that I want to conduct that particular search, I just come in here, click on my manage search, look for the search I want to make, and do that. If I want to use the ones that the system has by default, let's go to manage search and use one of them. Let's see. I have the REIFax bank-owned multifamily. Pre-foreclosed with 30% equity condos, probate out-of-state single family, tax delinquent out-of-state multifamily. Condos for sale, condos pre-foreclosed, for sale multifamily, single family bank owned, multifamily for sale back Bancon. Let's do the tax delinquent out of state multifamily minus 10. Let's select this one, click and load. This is what I have in my parameters. Actually, the pre the that's something you have to make sure you change when you do use the searches that are preset in your account, since they're in general for all our clients. It actually has any county as a default. So if you go to the manage search and select one of the RFX pre-saved searches, you would have to come here, and after you loaded and have all the parameters here for that particular search, just go ahead and check here and look for the county that you want to search in. Miami-Dade. The map changes when you choose a county. Because before, if you conducted a search without putting in the county, it would actually look for that type of properties in the whole state, and it would not be a manageable search. So I use my pre-saved searches, but I select the county that I want to do my search in. Click on search, and here I have my results. However, like I told you, if you want, try to, that was the Banco, well, which other? If I try to take one of these and override, well, actually, I should have had a warning there telling me that I cannot do that. In this case, it did it. Let me check what was going on. If you try to override or change one of the pre-saved searches, you'll see that you won't be able to do it. Or if you try to delete them, you won't be able to delete them either. Let's say delete. REIFax default searches can't be deleted. But if I try to delete the one I created, let's say this one, it just deleted it. So the ones that you have with the prefix RFX are not deletable. Any questions? I wanted to show you how to use the manage search and a little bit of how the search panel works. Actually, the search panel has so many options that it's something that you just have to come in and play around with. We do have tax delinquency in not in all counties. So if you see that you select a county and you do not see this windows here, is because that county does not have that information public. So let's select, for example, I think Baker. See, the tax delinquency windows disappeared. That means that that particular county does not have the information for tax delinquency available to the public, and there is no way we can get them either. So you won't have access to the tax delinquency on that particular county. If I go back and select a county that does have it, let's say Broward, you'll see that I have my tax delinquency back. So what I wanted to show you is how to use the managed searches and how to use in general the parameters selecting whether exact, contains, not contains, multiple not contains, and in the parameters with numbers you would use greater than, less than, equal, greater, equal or less, between, or multiple. Move from tab to tab for the different information. In for sale, you would have days on the market, HOA fee, or potential equity. And for rent, you would have gross area, listing date, entry date, market media, potential equity. If I go for sale by owner, remember that for sale by owner are properties that are listed elsewhere from MLS. They're not they're for sale but not listed in the MLS. That is, they may appear in Trulia or some pages like that. And actually, the information you would have would be the physical address of the owner. So that would have to be a mailing campaign through regular mail. In the foreclosure, I have in general, I can do a very specific search by case number or attorney or mortgager, but in general, I would use auction dates. For example, if I want to look for the properties that will go out for auction in the next month, I would put here auction greater, equal or greater than, and put a date, let's say from Monday on, and I could put an amount greater than or less than, and put, I don't know, 600 or whatever. So in general, the foreclosure, you would use the auction date or file date. Mortgage, again, you can do a very specific with document details, but in general, you would use amount or recorded date. In probate, again, very specific. You can look for a particular representative or attorney, but in general, you would use file date or publish date and look for the probates in the last 6 months or last year. So this is how we use our search, how we manage our searches, that we can save and retrieve and do the same searches over and over again. Or I can edit a particular parameter in our saved searches and use the pre-saved searches in all our accounts. Do we have any questions? Please go ahead and type them in. Remember that you have the live chat that you can ask any quick questions during the day. We work from 9 in the morning till 6 in the afternoon from Monday to Friday, and we'll try to answer any questions in the chat as soon as we see them. And if you're working after hours and have a question, just go ahead and leave us our message in our live chat, and we'll answer it as soon as we come in the next morning. We also have our phones. You can contact us through our email, that's REIFax@gmail.com. We are always here to serve you, and we love hearing from all of you. So if we don't have any more questions, it's been a pleasure with working with you today. I wish all of you a great weekend, and see you all back here next Friday. Bye. Have a great weekend.